Next guest knows these numbers inside and out. Sonny Perdue, the former U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, the former Georgia governor, and soon University System of Georgia chancellor. What a resume. Sonny, very good to have you. Secretary, good to have you.
Thank you, Neil.
What do you make, first off, of what we're seeing on the agricultural front? Not too long ago when I was talking to you, you did kind of telegraph to me you didn't think this would be a transitory issue. It certainly turned out to be anything but. So where are we going with this?
Well, for commodity prices, Neil, there's an old saying that says the cure for high prices are high prices, and the cure for low prices are low prices. Obviously, commodities have been volatile for years on the market, but on supply-demand situations. I think this will rectify itself over time, maybe into 23. But right now, not only high commodity prices, but high input prices. The supply chain is affecting the inputs, both from a nutrition standpoint and a chemical input perspective into the inputs of agriculture.
You know, one thing I also have been seeing and reading a lot more about, Secretary, is what's been happening since the Ukraine war. Ukraine, of course, as you've reminded me in the past, was the breadbasket to Europe, but so by definition is Russia, and both are kind of getting shut down now. In the case of Russia, deliberately so. In the case of Ukraine, the fallout of the war and trying to find passageways for its goods. Bottom line, though, those items continue soaring and get even, worse in this environment. So where does that go?
Well, again, supply-demand, obviously, as you said, Russia, since 1973, had developed into a major wheat exporter. You remember after we embargoed the U.S. wheat going to Russia, they became self-sustainable in wheat export, and they were huge, as well as Ukraine being the breadbasket. So that's a huge decrease in supply globally, and it'll take a while to work that out. The good news is that many of the items that we consume in the United States, the good part is, Neil, we won't have shortages here. Price increases maybe. We won't have shortages. Other parts of the world may literally have shortages. We may see refugee transfers from nation to nation based on literal food shortages.
You know, I caught what you said. I thought it's very profound. The solution for high prices are high prices. In other words, people get to a point where they can't keep paying the high prices, and that's when that inflation eases a little bit here. But do you have to be pushed to the brink of a slowdown, or worse, a recession to get there?
Well, I don't think to a recession. Obviously, people will moderate and mitigate their own consumption, whether it's fuel or whether it's food in certain areas, and choose. Well, the marketplace works very efficiently when you deal with the consumers. They understand what they're paying better than the government does, and they will moderate their actions and consumption based on those. So I think we'll see a mitigation of those high prices at some point shortly.
Now, you'll be heading to the University System of Georgia, chancellor there. Yeah. I always think of people in the higher education, governor, the secretary. The kids generally aren't too big on a lot of economic issues, not across the board. Some of the issues you and I just wade into are issues that young people obviously have to concern themselves with, but it's always a struggle on college campuses. What do you think of that?
Well, it is. Affordability is an issue. We've got to make sure that we market the real value of a long-term career type situation of a diploma, Neil. In this workforce environment where every street you walk down, there's a sign hiring. Yeah. Young people can go out of high school making $20 plus an hour, but that's a short-term instant gratification. That diploma is going to mean a lot more over the lifespan of a career, and that's what we've got to communicate to these young people.
But how long do you think this environment, which is great for college graduates, continues? They've been very, very picky. They've had every right to be picky, but sure, that doesn't last forever.
If you're a job provider, if you're a young person with a job, it's a seller's market. There's no doubt out there, and we see some of that hopping around. But that will go back and forth. If we do happen to enter a recession, as some fear, obviously you'll see a flight back to higher education rather than immediately out into a job, and that will self-correct itself as well. One of the things we're working on in Georgia is obviously affordability. There's a lot of conversation about tuition. Our state was able to keep tuition flat again this year and actually gave almost a refund from a special fee that was provided years ago during those twin recessions. So kids are getting a better deal in college in Georgia this year than before.
Yeah, it's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful schools. So I wish you all the best.
Great.
Secretary, thank you very, very much.